Good afternoon. Ina, do you in the intro video? Do you remember that one clip where all three of us are sitting in there and where Jace is losing it and I'm just like kind of randomly talking and you're like sitting there going? Do you remember what we was talking about?
That's my resting bitch face. I don't know. I'm always like that.
Love it.
We was talking about we was talking about tampons at the time during that show. And it was something about your name, something that was about your name, and it wasn't even really about you, I don't think. It was something about tampons, but you made a remark or something, and then Jace just lost it and couldn't stop laughing for like 15 minutes.
Something about plug and something, but
plug and play or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Sounds like a butt plug commercial to me.
That's a great idea.
Plug and play.
Plug and play. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talking with Demons. Good evening, ladies. Ina, Annabelle, how are you two doing today?
Very good. Very good.
I'm better than Annabelle because she froze for a minute.
Oh no. Not that.
No, you're fine. You're fine now. Don't make any weird faces. So if you get stuck, you will stuck like that. So
yeah, like
always try to sit like this.
You froze earlier during before the show. You froze, and you was in the middle of saying something. You had that Sylvester Stallone lip thing going on, and all I could do was just couldn't stop yelling, "Adrian, Adrian!" Anyway, hello everybody.
Hello world.
Hello world. Hello. What's the 72 genders and what else? Ina? What's that thing you say? It's 72 genders and
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and all 72 gender options on Facebook.
There we go. See,
love that.
That's a lot to say.
Yep.
That's too much.
Gotta be all inclusive, Sid.
I'm slow. Hello, Mary Beth. How are you doing? Betsy,
hola.
How are you doing? I like did better because I did that. You corrected yourself.
You are Sid Exotic today, though.
I got Joe Exotic on, the Tiger King.
Love it.
Yep. I almost wore the cowboy hat, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be taking it too far there.
You missed your chance.
You never take it too far with a cowboy hat.
Yes, you can. Just ask the Tiger. Just ask the Tiger King.
Oh. Let's not go there.
I want to wear a hat too, though. I feel left out.
Do you know what? When I logged in and Sid came up and I was like, oh, we're hatting it today, are we? Hat twins.
He's always wearing a hat.
Today's not my best hair day, so I thought I'd wear a cool hat that says "Death by Rock and Roll."
Ooh. We had 2-hour naps today, and we woke up thinking, you know what? I don't even give a shit. I mean, I hopped in the shower, even got clean, thought about styling my hair, put some gel in. I was like, you know what? I'm putting the fucking hat on. I don't like doing this. Anyway, we got a good, fun guest band on tonight. Our guest tonight, Shadowland.
Yeah. It's Tanya from Shadowland. Tanya from Shadowland.
Should we bring her on now? We already introduced her. Won't you do your 72 gender introduction?
Ladies and gentlemen, and all 72 gender options on Facebook, this is Tanya from Shadowland.
Ta-da!
Okay, so you have to leave and come back.
I'm so good at miming.
We'll do that. All right.
We should play charades.
We can talk about our day. It snowed today. I wasn't expecting that. What is going on over here? Is she having a stroke?
Me? No, I'm doing charades now.
Is this what a stroke looks like on Annabelle?
I'm just gonna exit for like a minute. I'm gonna have my inner stroke and then come back.
You have a stroke and then come back. What the fuck is going on over there? Ina has a stroke last week, and all you hear from the left side of her face. Was it your right side that you carried? The left side you couldn't.
Left.
So this week, Annabelle's having strokes doing all this.
It's contagious.
Here we go.
All right. It was weird because
she's back.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yay!
I could hear you before, and then when the show started, it stopped. But that's
and we said all those nice things about you, and he didn't hear him.
Well, good. I don't take compliments well, so yeah. I have the Jewish guilt, and then I'm not Catholic, but I was baptized Catholic, so I have it's just it's a lot. Yeah, I take a good razzing better. So
has everybody been here? Has everybody here been baptized?
I'm not Catholic. It was just like covering bases. I guess.
Do you know what? I think that's what happened to me. I think my mum made the choice for me. I got baptized, but 13 years later, I walk into a church and get myself set on fire, and haven't walked into church since.
I did too, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Something.
My dad used to just walk in and play in like Catholic bands. I don't know. He was just. I was born into like a Orthodox Judaism, but then he was actually just practice like an occultist. He was like doing like exorcisms and just doing a lot of kind of like left hand path magic. And then he also got me baptized in Catholic Church just because I think he liked like the spookiness of Catholicism. So I don't really know, but we would sometimes go to services, and I forgot the holiday, but it's the one where you have candles, and I all of a sudden had all these old ladies like hitting me with their handbags and in the head. I was like 10 maybe. I had like long, curly hair. And I was like, oh no, they found out I'm a Jew, and then I was like, oh, no. But I was like, oh, my hair's on fire because I had gotten so bored. I think it was like a Latin service. I was just like falling asleep, and just my hair is very flammable. So extra flammable.
I was like, this water's too cold. I'm not getting in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it. I was a baby, so.
I just remember people jumping on me with like fire blankets, and I was like, the fuck? Like,
fire blankets?
Yeah, no, I did not get hit with bags. That was like next level shit. Like that, you took it. That was taken to another level. No, I'm like,
what baptizing you guys talking about
with the fire blanket. Like,
who has a fire blanket on hand, on deck?
I know. Where the fuck did they get a fire blanket? Somebody
fire blanket
standing next to us.
Isn't baptizing getting dipped in water?
Yep.
No, that was separate. Baptized by fire, though. That's when.
Okay.
Yeah. That's.
I mean, I'm just not allowed back in church ever since. So I'm not taking any fucking. I'm taking precautions. I'm not taking chances anymore. I smelled like chicken for a week. I did not appreciate that. I fucking hated for any meats at that week because the constant smell. Not fun. I was vegetarian for that week. It's not cool.
I'm like, water's too cold. Nah, I'm not getting dipped. Keep the fire away from me too. I'm just gonna go home now and play my Nintendo.
My Nintendo.
Super Mario Brothers, here I come. Anyway, Tanya.
Yeah.
Tanya. See.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'm good at that though.
I knew who you were talking to.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Tanya.
you. Yeah. I'm
from
joining
Shadowland.
From Shadowland. I'm joining you from the Gracious Supply Closet at Grizzly Tattoo in Portland, Oregon. So just want to clarify, this is not actually where I live, but
you don't get no metal. You can't get no more metal and rock and roll than that. Being inside of a supply closet, seeing all those pipes being laid.
Yeah, well, no comment. They like put me in. This is where they put me when I haven't done enough tattoos this week. So it's actually just the quietest place, but actually I think it sounds pretty good in here. So
the acoustics sound amazing right now.
Perfect. Yeah, just got a couple pieces of film, and it actually would be like probably ideal. So
I need to get a studio just like that.
Yeah, just any old closet will do, I guess. Sitting on a stack of paperwork from the last like 10 years, it looks like. So that's where all the consent forms are, I guess. I'm finding all kinds of interesting things in here. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on.
Fire.
Sorry.
Make sure you don't catch fire.
It's a little chilly. The heat is not coming in here, so no, I'm just in a deep dark hole in the somewhere in the Northwest. So, although Shadowland is New York City, so just in case people are confused.
So you're in Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And the band's in New York City.
Yeah, I just moved back to Portland, so we're still active. We're still doing stuff. We're just a little long distance. We weren't. We you know you don't want to play too often anyway. After you've been like a local band for like 5 years. So I mean, we already don't like to do too many shows in town. So I go out there to play shows, and we'll record and stuff like that. It's a new development, but so far it's working well. I just got back from New York, so. Played a couple shows. We played with Raven and Riot Act, which is a member of formerly Riot, and of course Raven, obviously, right? And then we played a show with like a bunch of our friends. High Command had a Dead Heat. We had I don't even know. I need like a set list in front of me to remember, but it was a lot of Devil Master. Sorry to the guys that I didn't mention.
How long has you guys been a band, Shadowland? How long have you guys been a band?
So I think 2018 is when we started practicing. So I was the last to join. So there was a previous incarnation with a couple different members, and then it was called Chain. And the singer was Johnny Halliday, who sings in he's in Philly now. Oh my God, the name of his band is like slipping my mind, and it's that's embarrassing. They're a great Philly band, and I'll look it up in a second. But then Jeff, our lead guitarist, joined right before that band dissolved, and then they just started writing new songs a little bit on their own, like Jeff did, and they kind of were just fucking around. Am I allowed to curse? Is that
No,
it's encouraged.
Yeah, I kind of assumed, but they were kind of just messing around, not sure exactly where to go, and then I showed up, so and kind of commandeered the situation, and we've been Shadowland ever since. That was our second name, but we don't need to get into that. So, yeah. But I'd say, I think 2018. So we put out a demo. Then we had an EP that just got released on tape only. Then we self-released.
Interesting choice. Why only tape?
Because I mean, tapes are cool, and we don't really care about CDs, and vinyl is very expensive. And
oh my God, is it? It is so expensive. But tape, to be fair, mixtapes and tapes are coming back into fashion in general just now.
I mean, I don't know. My first ever band, we recorded on an 8-track and just released everything on tape until we just did one 12-inch full-length album, and that was it. Everything else was tape. So I still listen to tape. It's my favorite, it's actually my favorite after, because like records are great. Obviously, that's the best packaging and everything. I just have never cared for CDs. I don't own a CD player. But like for everyday listening, it's also like tapes, they can like rewind them, flip themselves. Like it's just a little bit more casual than, and I like to drive old cars. So I love tape. But I mean, putting out a vinyl is just very arduous and expensive, and we did I've self-released before, and we did our first EP was self-released, but by the time we had finished recording that, our second EP technically, but by the time we finished the first one, we were already more concerned with like just recording again and doing more stuff. So, and then we have one full-length album out with No Remorse, and 2 more to go. So in the process of writing number 2. So yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting choice to come out with cassette only. That's one of my, for me, it's just nostalgic. You know what I mean? That's what I used to listen to as a kid was cassette tapes. Getting on the radio.
We have vinyl out. We have one EP on vinyl, 7-inch, and then we have one full-length album, 12-inch on vinyl.
I just like the idea you only came out with it on cassette. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's literally the only, because we're not going to just release it only digital. I mean, I don't know. I think that's goofy, especially if you're playing heavy metal. It's like people want the packaging, they want the art. People don't want to pay to get somebody to do good art for them, unfortunately. But people do want that, and it's like, if you're gonna do it and you're gonna have something physical, I don't know, why not, Cake was the best.
I think it's more to do with the memento as well. So fans in general enjoy to have something physical as well, to have that memory. So when they see you live, it's more of it's like a commemorating that moment. Because if you go on digital, which is it's great to discover new bands and things like that, but when you go see them live, you're basically fans basically show support by buying what you've got, like merch in general, or whether you got CDs, cassettes, all these different types of things that they can get from you. That is, they're commemorating a memory there, and this is something that they will always have and remember seeing you guys live. That's my personal thought of thought on that.
I mean, it's never occurred to me now. I've never even, we never really, it wasn't like a discussion, or it wasn't a novelty. It wasn't it just literally is like, I don't know. It didn't occur to us to only put something out digitally because you want to have that, especially metal and punk, metal, goth, but especially metal, like people, they're collectors, a lot of collectors, and people want to have that. And a lot, I don't know, like, again, I feel like people sometimes do say like, oh, it's coming back, or I've been listening to tapes my whole life. I never stopped. I've always had a cassette player. I used to trade like mixtapes with friends across internationally and stuff. And so I guess when people say that, I'm like, oh, it came back. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it all the time. But I drive like a 1995 Geo Tracker. Like I'm not I'm doing things the old school just because that's what I like. I like to have
old school's the best school.
I just like to have physical, things. I don't like to rely on streaming. I don't like to rely on the internet. Like that stuff is great as a tool, but I don't know. Like what are we doing here? Like we're playing heavy metal. We're dressing up. We're like, waving guitars around. Wearing denim and leather and being generally over the top. Like, nobody's paying. I mean, we get a little bit, but this is a labor of love. Like any money we make from this band goes back into the band. So it's like, why wouldn't you put it out? Put your music out so people can own it.
Absolutely.
And I do our artwork. So.
One of my favorite things about the band is how you guys, it reminds you a lot of the 80s metal bands with you guys getting dressed up. The artwork kind of reminds you a bit of the 80s albums that you see. I thought that was just pretty badass, which would lead us into Ina. Ina, are you with us?
Yes, I'm blinking.
I'm blinking.
Is that far away? I'm old. Want to introduce the next song? Let's introduce everybody to some Shadowland.
Yes. You guys, we're here on Talking with Demons with Shadowland, and this is their song, Warhound. We'll be right back.
Ooh, I got to get to it first. Hang on, I'm slacking. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? This is Corey from the band Carbon Stone, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Rock on.
Well, did it again. Damn it, man. How many other ones? Like Annabelle too? Ina, are you?
I'm fine. That was my evil plan all along.
Whole time. Here we go. Hang on.
It's just a weird thing, I guess. Every time a video plays, it turns my audio off.
It's StreamYard being stupid. I do apologize.
Yeah. It's working pretty well, though, besides that, which I'm kind of surprised about because I just did a podcast the other day and we were just like losing. I was Zoom and we could barely get through it. So it was a bummer. So this works pretty well.
Well, anyway, that fucking song is badass.
Thank you.
Loved it. Loved it.
The whole picture of the band with the fucking candles, you guys holding the swords, that is just so fucking Judas Priestess.
Judas Priest. It's Judas Priest. Yeah.
Judas Priestess.
No, it's Judas Priest. That's the band. I don't really know Judas Priest as that band that well, but we are
I'll
huge.
give you a compliment.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I
there's
mean,
no such band as Judas Priestess.
No, there is. There is.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there is. That's why I'm like, no, I mean, and they're cool from what I know, but I'm like, no, we love Judas Priest. So you nailed it. Yeah. Absolutely. I just wanted to clarify because people do love that band. So
I never heard of them.
yeah, I mean, I think they might be a cover band. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, they seem cool. But yeah, no, you're correct. Yeah, we are huge fans. That's like our number one, you know. So
It was amazing. I love your voice.
And amazing vocals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I gotta say. So I was so when I was listening to it and following the lyrics as well, I just really enjoyed the variety of how you're obviously sometimes you are following the actual the musical line of it, but obviously you then digress into your own vocal, and it's actually it complements it, that like the music complements the vocals and vice versa. So I think it sits perfectly with how you're with how you're putting it all together. So far I'm blown away.
thank you. I'm so glad.
That sounds so horrible. So far I'm blown away. Like
Yeah,
the next song's gonna be shit. Like what is
That's
wrong
all right.
with me? I take that back. No, so that is it's really awesome. And
Oh no. Yeah.
I gotta say, so the artwork though, so I've read something about you guys. And I've picked up on something that you said, and I can resonate with that. You said that you focus on the subtle cosmic side of horror when it comes to your artwork, which I thought that is a really progressive and awesome way to explain what you guys aim for when it comes to the artwork for your songs and album.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was actually a really cool way of it's a different approach. It's a different but more interesting approach. So you're not like like every other band that does like gothic sort of shit. You guys take a really cool approach, and you said that you do your artwork.
Yeah, I'm an illustrator as well as a tattooer. But yeah, I do album covers for us, and
if I visit, can you do my other arm?
Yeah, you shoot me an email.
Come
We'll have to
visit you.
cut it out and stuff. But yeah, absolutely.
More about that ink.
Tattoos, and that's how I pay my bills. So yeah, but I also do I do our artwork, yeah, I do album artwork in general. It's just unfortunately, a lot of bands these days, and I get it because my band, my band is we don't get much from our label. Like most of this stuff is funded through the band, and that's why we have to hustle and sell our stuff just so we can afford to do it. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people they'll spend a couple grand on a recording, but then when it comes to artwork, even though they're like in today's age, there's no reason to put out vinyl. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You can just put things out digitally. But the reason to do it is to have an artifact that somebody can hold in their hands and enjoy it and listen to that and look at it. it's for the packaging, really. I mean, and that's why vinyl is so great, because CDs, it's not the best packaging. You know, I love tapes, like we talked about, but it's, you know, it's little. You know, it's just like you get to showcase a whole thing. And for me, an album is really about not just, you know, the music or the lyrics and everything. I mean, it's about the whole package. It's about creating who you want to be, your persona as a band, and the artwork, and creating like a world to be inside of.
That's so 80s metal.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, it should be just music today. Like, you know, what are we doing if we're not just creating, you know, a whole place to be? But unfortunately, I do feel like people kind of will do all of that and spend all that money, and then, and you know, not even to mention the drugs and alcohol or whatever, you know, that went into writing the songs for many bands, and then it comes to, you know, artwork, and they're like, ooh, can you do it for free or like a couple $100? And it's like, if you want a hand painted, fully, you know, this, like that, sometimes our album, I mean, that's at least 40 hours of actual just drawing and painting and planning and stuff. So, and if you break it down, like, you know, if like my hourly is like nothing. I like tattoo to be able to support myself to do that, and also because I love tattooing. It's not like secondary, but yeah, I wish more bands would see that as a necessary thing to like invest in good artwork, because there's just, I'm kind of concerned for the legacy of like music when you look around and you see all this really shoddily done sort of you know, like quickly done, like, you know, somebody's cousin like has Procreate or something, and it's like, if you're gonna do it right. And if you don't pay artists, then like there won't be any around to do your artwork. You know what I mean? Because it takes time to be able to get to a place where you can really bang something like that out and, you know, make something cool like that. And I think like there's a huge demand for it, because people love telling me about it. They're like, so great to see, like, wow, like this looks hand painted. It must be digital. And I'm like, no, it's not. I fucking painted that. It's a huge oil painting. It's actually in my station, in my tattoo station out there. So yeah.
Lovely.
And to speak to your when you're talking about cosmic horror, like yeah, a lot of our songs are like inspired by literature. I'm very interested in like you know, weird fiction. Like I wish I could have gone to Necronomicon this year, but like a couple years ago I was on a panel at Necronomicon, and you know, selling artwork there. So, you know, people like I guess Lovecraft, he's my least favorite, but like William Hope Hodgson and M.R. James, and like you know, like Robert E. Howard, who, you know, he's famous for Conan, which is great, but he also wrote a lot of just really strange and bizarre horror as well. And like Clark Ashton Smith, like all of these, like I don't know, like and you know, and we're kind of doing, you know, like the bands we like Manila Road, for example, like, you know, they're also very in that world. So the song we just listened to, Warhound, is based off of inspired by Michael Moorcock novel.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's called The Warhound and the World's Pain. He's it's one of his, like, there's a few in the series. It's like the Von Beck series, and most people know him for Elric, which is like awesome. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, for a little context. But yeah, I'm glad that you.
No, well, it does translate, because obviously if you look at the I completely agree when it comes to the artwork translates into what the band wants to be seen as, and it's basically your brand, more or less. If you look at it, it's not just the music that you do, but it's the artwork that should go with it. Because I mean, personally, I find it weird that the music wouldn't fit the artwork. Do you know what I mean? You're just like, what happened there? Like, what happened there? But with yours, it doesn't just fit perfectly. It speaks, and it has its own story, which, again, as you said, for context, I completely agree, and it gives it more of depth to it, which is awesome. And again, a lot of fans would appreciate that, because that's what it's all about. The music itself is a story. You tell it through the musical side of it, the lyrics, and the artwork supports the vision of it, and it's just it goes all hand in hand. So hats off to that. I think I absolutely love the artwork, because I've checked it out.
So much.
Like, this is absolutely.
I think it's fucking awesome anyway. I think it's badass, because it reminds me of how the album used to become. A band used to do this. Artwork was one of the most important things.
Yeah.
About the band back in the 80s. That's how it was. If you didn't have good artwork, if that artwork wasn't eye popping, nobody cared. Nobody
Yeah.
cared.
And I want to say, people often like, all right, I was at like, I went to the Frazetta Museum, and it's funny because I see my friends' band, they have like a wall of like albums that have used Frank Frazetta's artwork. And they're talking about how like she's giving a tour, and she's like, well, and you know, this is something that bands used to do, and young people like yourself, like I'm 31, also I'm not like, you know, a child, but like, you know, oh, you wouldn't remember. And you know, bands used to put this out, and I'm staring at my friend, I think it's Lecherous Gaze, I believe. Yeah, they had like officially licensed some Frazetta artwork, and I'm like, I'm literally looking at like some of my oldest friends on the wall right now, like this is alive and well. And myself, I mean, when I was 13 years old, the first 2 records I ever bought were Grim Reaper, Welcome to Hell, and it was Lords of the New Church. I forgot the name of the album, but it was like the coolest album cover. And I had never heard of either of his bands. I knew I liked goth and metal and punk, and I literally just went through this, flipped through, and I was like, chose the 2 coolest album covers. And those are 2 of my favorite bands to this day. So like, do judge an album by its cover. And like, for any bands that might be listening, like it's worth every penny, and whatever you're paying your artist, it's like not even covering like
It's worth it.
So it's worth it, you know what I
It's
mean?
basically, it's worth it, so don't skip out, basically.
Tenfold, yeah. And if you want to sell stuff, like, and like, you don't make money off of streaming. You do not make money off of streaming. So if you want to sell your albums, you want to sell your you know, your merch, you gotta hire some artists. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to like. I'll get off my pedestal or whatever off the.
No, I agree with you.
If you do it right. Basically, don't go halfway through it.
I'm concerned with the legacy of music, because like for me, it just was such an immersive experience, you know, to like hold an album and look at it, and like the album. I get very obsessed with not just bands, but like certain albums, and not just songs. Like we like write in, if you're gonna put an album out, like write an album, you know what I mean? Like everything sound like at first it was like singles, and now we're down to sound clips because of TikTok and stuff. And it's just like, no, write a fucking album. Like, and people will like give people something to like that will stick with them, like it's in their soul. Like, I don't know. Like I have like such a personal connection with bands like Judas Priest, Killing Joke, you know, and I don't know, it's just so formative. And I don't want you know, and there's plenty of bands doing great work and making, you know, great music and putting out great albums and that do have good artwork. But I do feel like, I don't know, like yeah, like it's something worth doing if you're gonna do it. Like give people something to hold and like cherish and have like a personal connection with it. And people have told me that they have that with this album, and that's like the best compliment I ever could have gotten, like ever. That's all I'm going for.
What was your relationship with music growing up? When did you realize you wanted to sing and do music?
So I was always
it's completely true.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. So I was like always listening to music. My parents were classical musicians, and I remember seeking out music on my own since I was like able to. I don't know. Like I remember having like a cassette tape of like 1960s songs, like, like silly songs, and it was kind of for kids, but it was like real songs. It was like Tiny Tim and stuff, and you know, I loved it. I would, you know, put it on all the time until my mom was like sick of it. And then when I got a little tiny bit older, I was like addicted to the radio and oldies. I loved like 60s garage, you know, and yeah, like just the like, you know, like the Zombies, stuff like that. I was just like fascinated by that. So that's really like early rock and roll. And I grew up playing the cello. My dad was he played like every instrument. He was a music theory guy. So he had an embouchure for like flute, clarinet. Like he could do woodwinds and he could do brass and he could do strings. So like, you know, he you know, knew like music theory in and out, so he could pick up anything and play it, which was cool to be around. And he would put me on the piano and just like, you know, have me sing these, you know, old timey songs for his own entertainment. But unfortunately, he didn't start me on piano and did not start me on guitar, which would have been great because I think those are the best starter instruments because you understand like chords and I think music theory better. But I started on cello for whatever reason, which cello's great, but it's not like I am forever like intimidated by like by 6-string and anything with more than 4 strings. So and then singing I didn't do until I was like a teenager. I never wanted to sing really. So yeah.
I started playing the tuba. That was my first instrument, was the tuba.
That's funny.
A little 3-foot-year-old fella carrying around a 6-foot fucking tuba.
Yeah, I mean, that looks fun. Like, I've always wanted to just, like, you know, honk on one. I had no desire to haul one around.
Then a trombone.
What's that?
Then I played the trombone, and then
the honk on one.
Keyboards for a little bit. And then I started to start playing drums.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of always been around, but I didn't start playing in bands till I was a teenager. And I never took singing lessons or was a singer. I always loved doing it on my own, but I just kind of fell into it. And I don't have a ton of time in the world, so that's like what I like to do best. So that's now what I stick to as far as like playing in bands goes. So yeah.
Is it time to play our next music video?
Is it, Ina?
Is it?
Is it?
Yes!
Maybe.
Hang on, before you do this, let me get to it.
So should I introduce this? Talk about it afterwards.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay. This is a self-directed, self-produced, homemade Shadowland music video. I believe it's Lamia, right?
Lamia,
Yes.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So that's what you're about to watch. So enjoy.
Take it away, Sid.
Okay.
this is Rod from Just a Ride, and you're watching Inner Demon Media.
What? she'll be back.
She'll be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I just did it in advance this time, so.
Yeah, so she was being smart
Not an
about
issue.
it.
Mm.
What a fucking great video, by the way.
Thank you.
The song is awesome. I've been playing it on the radio show. I love that song.
Thanks so much.
But one of the guys reminds me, looks like Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does
Oh
look
my
like
God, that's
Bruce
what I was
Dickinson.
thinking. I was like, wait a second.
He really just does look like that. It's really funny. And it's funny, our friend Nate, who is in Sanhedrin, another great New York City band, they grew up together in New York City boys, and he really also looked like a spitting image of young Ozzy, especially when he was younger. Yeah, like, and it's so funny pictures of them together. It looks just like Bruce Dickinson and Ozzy, like, yeah, in their youth hanging out. It's very cute. So I don't know how that happened, but like very, very creepy. Like, there's certain pictures where you see Jeff and it's like, I can't tell which one it is. So
Was that your actual car?
that is that was my partner at the time. I named her. That's Donna. Yeah, a 1984 Camaro, and I do love that car. I wish it was my car, but yeah, we're still great friends, and he was just kind enough to let us drive it around. Yeah, Mob Shitty, and on Instagram, he does like t-shirts. He's a great artist, and Donna has her own Instagram. It's like Hot Donna 42069, I think.
Love that.
Yeah. So if you like the car, there's more. There's more. So yeah, I love cool cars. I don't
Everything
know.
about that video, I fucking love. To be fair.
Thanks so much.
Very authentic, which I've enjoyed very much so, because it's giving you that those 80s 70s vibes.
Fucking hey, we're missing
Right?
that.
I'm
missing
literally,
that.
I'm feeling like that. You know, when you watch like Live Aid or like really amazing like bands back in the day, right? And that kind of video comes up and it's old school, and that's the kind of vibe I got of that video, because it's got that authenticity, and I was just like, yeah, I'm there for it. This is brilliant.
Well, yeah, I'm a movie guy. I love movies. Part of that is maybe just what we like, right? And the other part is, okay, when nobody funded that was self-funded. Literally the only expenses in that video were the fake blood, and we paid one person, Frank Long, in New York City. He's at MVS Live, and he's on YouTube and Instagram. He's just like such a hardworking dude. Max Volume Silence. He shoots a ton. He shoots like every live video you've seen at St. Vitus. He did that, and he does it just for the love of music. He's just incredibly awesome, hardworking dude. He gave us such a deal on that, and so basically, how we made that was, I storyboarded it. I wrote the plot or whatever. I storyboarded it like frame by frame. We went to Calvary Cemetery in Queens, which is one of my favorite cemeteries. I'm a cemetery crawler. That's what I do for fun. And it's just like a massive, massive place. And that particular area of it, Joe Spinelli's buried there. It's like a cult actor you might know. But anyway, so we went there, scoped it out, like location scouted, did all the stuff. I literally like drew out frame by frame what we were gonna do, and I just kind of like, yeah, I wrote that because I knew that we could pull that off, and like we could pull off all the kills with like basically nothing, no makeup team, no, like literally nothing. This video was made with nothing besides Frank showed up, shot it like the pro he is, one camera, one guy, me helping direct it. and we did not have a license to shoot it, and we showed up, and I go there, you know, fairly frequently. And the day we showed up, they were doing like massive renovations on the mausoleum that we were going to use. I've never seen so many people there. There was just like mass amounts of dudes doing like, it was like landscaping day. And I was just immediately like so fucking stressed out. I was like, guys, you cannot be drinking. This is like 8 a.m., right? I was like, it's going to be a miracle if we get out of here alive. And they never believe anything I say. They're like, yeah, who cares? I'm like, no, it's a thing, especially in New York. Like, you got to have a license to shoot stuff, even if it's like little, you know, stuff. They don't know. And we like miraculously got through almost all of it. And then once they saw me, I have a very large knife that I pulled out to kill Jeff with.
Yeah, we saw that. That was actually really cool.
That was also a thing because for safety reasons, like that actually was just a real knife that has like an insane blade on it. So like I couldn't even like get it near him, you know, it was just too sharp. And then once they saw that and the amount of fake blood we had, they were like, get the fuck out of here right now. We're calling the cops. So we left, we all went, and these idiots, I love them to death, but they're like beer cans everywhere. Like it was just a miracle. Like that took years off of my life making that. We shot it in one day. We shot it in a couple hours. And then we jumped in the car and then we shot the last kill scene where I kill the bassist Cedric with the Camaro. In like just another random cemetery, not random, but another cemetery in the area. And then Frank, for the live parts, that was shot at St. Vitus. Thanks, George from St. Vitus. George, like honestly, St. Vitus, one of the best small venues in the country, one of the best heavy metal venues in the country, period. Support mid-size and smaller venues, like they're so precious, and a place like that is just it's like I don't know, like I've been playing music, underground music for my whole life, and it's just you'll miss it when it's gone. So like, don't be a dick and support it. You know what I mean? And we get a ton of support from George and from St. Vitus. Jeff is the head sound guy there, so we were able to go in, use this stage and the lighting and everything free of charge. So Frank shot that, and then we had all that footage. He knew the order I had given him. Like, basically, it was like I know how to I like movies, so I know how to just like the basic steps of making it. And we did like the most, I gave him that stuff, and he edited it together himself. We gave him like one round of revisions, and it was done. So I'm kind of amazed we pulled that off and how well it turned out. And like literally the only expense we had was the paying Frank, which he hooked us up immensely, which we really appreciate, and the fake blood.
No, to be fair, it looked so like well scheduled and done. Like, I mean, I watched it, and you can tell that there's, even though, as you said, it doesn't look like you didn't splurge the money on it, because it looks done like you've actually put a lot of time, effort, and money into it. And that's the magic of it, isn't it? Because it's got so much detail involved, and what you guys have done and put together, and that you can tell the details that you as the person that actually directed it, you can see those details in there. So it's very much appreciated to see that kind of, you know, magical thing happen when you put the video together, and you're like, damn, we actually did it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you're like, you know what? I've washed my hands of this fucking too, right? And just, you know, walk away like a champion. So all I gotta say is that it's a brilliant video, and like I said, the authenticity on it, the vibes of it in general is absolutely awesome, and it fits the song perfectly.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I mean, I think it was partly just like, I'm like, what can we write that we can pull off and do? And I will pat myself on the back for that. And you know,
you should. It looks freaking awesome.
But doing, you know, that work in beforehand, but then just so grateful to Frank's. Like, he really is just the best. And I don't know, go support MBS Live, and also him being the guy to edit it and just doing all of that himself, like, just so immensely I appreciate, because I have had to edit videos for us, not like music videos, and it just takes so much time and energy, and anyway, so that's a big
the cake and the cookie home.
So thank you. Thanks, Frank. Cool. Thanks, guys.
So, what does the future hold for your band? What are your plans?
We have a 3-album contract. We have 1 down, 2 to go. We have songs written. I'm a little behind on my writing. We write collaboratively. Jeff is the main songwriter. Like, he starts everything, especially on that first album. But we all add our stuff, and like Jeff writes, for this next album, it's a little more collaborative, but I always do all of my own vocal write. Like he just delivers the songs, we workshop them together, and then I'm really grateful for this. They give me free reign to like whatever I sing, like they don't, map that melody out. I decide what goes there, and I do the lyrics, and we workshop it together. So I right now have all the lyric writing to do for the new lyric and vocal melodies to write for the new one. So I need to get on that. But yeah, we have a couple more coming out. So
chop.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I love music, and this kind of music in particular. It's if you're trying to take it like make money off your band, it's just like this is a labor of love, like a new wave of traditional heavy metal and stuff. I mean, it's just really is like it's beloved, but it's also still a niche market, and you just got to do it for love. And so that's the reason like I want to put joy in it, and so I as much as it is serious, I also can't treat it like a job because I'm not getting paid for it. And I do have like a creative job that it takes a lot of my time. So I want to keep it exciting. But yeah, I will start writing, but I'm trying not to
hurry up. Just hurry up. Chop.
I'll do my best,
That's literally my go-to. I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
My best is what I'm gonna get. Yeah, that's kind of when people like reviewed the album and like the criticism that our label gave us. I'm like, cool. I mean, we wrote it, so it's done now, and like, hope you like it. That's the best we could do at that point, And we could probably everything that Shadowland's done. I do strongly feel we've just like improved every step of the way, and I feel proud of that. But at the same time, whatever we did at that time, that's the best we could do.
I love when people ask you, what are you doing with yourself? I'm doing my best, Karen. I'm doing my
fucking best. Yeah, I'm just like surviving out here, Just getting along, yeah. So, but yeah, I'll try to deliver.
Staying alive.
Yeah. Can you deliver? I don't know. I'll try.
Do you have anything you want to shamelessly plug where people can find you?
Yeah.
Sure, I should do some of that. So I plugged St. Vitus. I plugged our band, but so buyer beware. There are some other Shadowland and Shadowlands out there, and so if you find us on YouTube or like another streaming service, you have to make sure that it is us, because there's even another like heavy metal. And I used to be in a goth band, and there's like sort of a synth gothy Shadowlands out there. So just double check it's us. But the best way to buy our merch and our music, and we're very low on LPs now, but some of those, our label has told us they won't be repressing unless we deliver another album, so get them while you can, is through our Bandcamp. It's at Shadowland NYC, at Bandcamp or like .bandcamp or whatever. Shadowland Heavy Metal is our email, and then we have an Instagram. It's I think Shadowland NYC. I'd really look it up. My personal like Instagram is Airsats Existence, ERSATZ_existence, and you can. I have a website, tinyfinder.com. So like basically any of these things, you will be able to find us. We have. What else? I'm just plugging myself. I should probably plug the other guys. Or maybe not. Philtown Leather, that's Jeff's leather. Also, if you've ever played St. Vitus, Jeff probably did your sound, so that's his plug. And his other band is Hustler, that's great. Head Splitters is Cedric's other band. But yeah, let's keep it to Shadowland. Find our Bandcamp.
Shadowland,
NYC.
NYC.bandcamp.com. That's where you find
if
them.
you want to commission some artwork for me or get a tattoo, I work at Grizzly Tattoo in Portland, and then I visit New York, and I work at Gnostic Tattoo. But yeah, you can find me at airsats_existence, or just find my website tinyfinder.com, or you can find my email and all that stuff on there too. And Bandcamp is great. That's where you should, if you're gonna buy music digitally, buy from the bands themselves. So cool,
Awesome,
Excellent.
thanks guys.
fucking amazing.
Thanks so much. I really enjoyed it. Sorry.
Wait, we got the last song to play. I'll
yeah.
introduce it if I can, please. Please. And now, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else out there, aliens, unicorns, and everyone who enjoys music, please welcome the final song of today's show for Shadowland. And this is Necromancer's Castle.
My guys, have a good. See you guys next week.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Do I hang up now?
I'm never drinking again. Who ordered the shots? Whoever ordered the shots, you're not my friend anymore. Oh, I gotta poop.